Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Today we're going to be analysing all the goals from yesterday's 6-goal thriller at Elland Road. Before we get into it though, make sure you smash that big red button down below, but let's get straight into it now. So we're going to look at some of our early chances now in the game, and we hit the bar 3 times in the opening 7 minutes. We really easily could have scored. I talked about this in my match reaction yesterday, so we won't cover it too much, but if we had have took some of these chances, perhaps the game wouldn't have gone the way it did, which is why I don't blame Farke for any of it. But let's go into it and just analyse them for what they are. So in this first moment, you'll see that Jayden Bogle here is playing the ball through to Jorginho Rutter. Jayden Bogle, who, let's be honest, and we'll go into this in a little bit, hasn't had the best positional start to his Leeds career. He was at fault for one of the goals partially, but his attacking play in this game, and you'll see as I go throughout, he's involved in a lot of it, so it's kind of swings and roundabouts. You've got a really good attacking player, not necessarily the best in terms of positional defence, but nevertheless, this ball is played through to Jorginho Rutter, and look at Jorginho Rutter bearing down on goal here. You've got a really good situation here because you've got Gnonto coming in and filling in that gap. If he'd have stayed too wide, then you wouldn't have had anyone in the centre because Mateo Joseph was involved in the build-up. So essentially, Gnonto's taken the responsibility to take Mateo Joseph's role, and then you've got Dan James for support down the right wing if he's forced away from goal. But look at the space he has to run into. The whole box is his sort of domain at the moment. And when he gets into the box, look what Gnonto does. So Gnonto's running alongside. He's sprinting to get there. But as soon as he gets to the edge of the box, you can see he's slowing down and he's stopping and holding back. And that is what a really good attacking player does. He's basically holding back to allow himself that extra bit of space. There's a circle around him there basically where he's got space now, and they haven't noticed that. They're all still running the same direction. So you can see as the ball comes back across, the 2 players that were running backwards are here and here behind the ball, which, yes, they probably want to be behind the ball, but Gnonto gets himself a chance to get his shot off and he cannons it off the bar. But positionally, everything's perfect with this move. It's a really, really good attacking move, and it's what you expect to see from Leeds, cutting open defences. And when it was in the first 3 or 4 minutes, if it had gone in, it would have changed the game completely. But in the early stages of this game already, you could see that we were cutting them open and creating chances for our attacking players, even if Mateo Joseph, who was the striker, obviously he does arrive there in the end, but he wasn't too involved in that move. But everybody else is involved in it as well, so that's giving me hope for this let's have goals coming from all over the park kind of mentality. But obviously that one hit the bar, unfortunately. Then we come on to Gruev's corner. Now, the delivery on this corner was so much better than what we've had. It was towards the back post, and as you could see, when it came over, you can't really see where the ball is there in that clip just because of the crowd and everything and a bit of blur. But you just imagine this ball is coming over to the back post where Ampadu is trying to make that run to get the right side of his defender. He manages to... He's down here at this point, but he heads it down, it bounces up, hits the bar and goes out. Again, so close to taking the lead. At this point, the delivery from corners is getting a lot better. Although there wasn't that many good deliveries. Actually, no, I take that back. Some of the deliveries, every now and again we get a good delivery when we never had any good deliveries before. But it still needs to improve a lot. And I think Joe Rothwell taking some set pieces would improve that. But obviously, he wasn't on the pitch until later on. Next is our free kick, which hit the bar as well. This time, Gruev as well. Excellent. Look at the position he's in here. For him to hit that top corner there, it has to be a really special free kick. And he ends up bending it and hitting the bar. You can see the ball on its way there, trying to come down. The goalkeeper's already set off. And then it just hits that bar, hits the bar there and cannons off. It's so unlucky. It's an unbelievable free kick. I didn't know Gruev had that in his locker, but an absolutely fantastic free kick. And again, this was in the 8th minute, I think. So Leeds could have been 3-0 up at this point, quite easily. If luck had been on our side, Leeds could have been 3-0 up, and nobody would be complaining about any of the stuff that happened thereafter, especially any of the stuff with MESLIER as well, which obviously the title of this video talks about. Then Leeds had the penalty, and now this isn't in the highlights, so I can just talk you through it. But Dan James basically got in front of Ogilvie here. The ball was played through to him, and he basically got in front of him, then put his body in front so that Ogilvie had no choice but to bring him down. Dan James went down, Leeds won a penalty. Pascal Struijk stepped up to take it, and I thought, oh, God, this means we're missing. Why is the centre-back taking a penalty? It did still surprise me. I mean, it was a good penalty, but it still surprised me that Jorginho, Mateo, Joseph, none of those attacking players wanted to take this penalty. But Struijk stepped up as vice-captain and took it, slotted it right in the bottom corner. Look, you can just see kind of a blur of it there, but that is the ball right in that bottom corner, so it's an excellent, excellent penalty from Pascal Struijk. Now we come on to defensive stuff. So when we're looking at this, we're looking at Bogle specifically in this situation. So this is for goal number 1. Obviously, this is the one where everybody blames MESLIER. Now, MESLIER, it was a really poor attempt to save it, and it was straight at him, and he's palmed it into his own net. It was a shot with a lot of pace on it, a lot of power on it, but still, he should be getting strong wrists to it and palming it away from goal rather than palming it into his own net. However, all goals can be looked at on a number of levels in terms of defensive mistakes. It's not just one person ever that causes the thing, unless it's just like a bad pass back. But when you look at this, look at the positions, okay? You've got Junior Firpo here. You've got Joe Rodon here, who's right centre-back, so he's already coming out of the box. Pascal Struijk is here. Jayden Bogle is in Pascal Struijk's position. And really, as soon as the ball comes out, he should just make a little run in front, or probably behind Struijk, to get back to his position here and mark this player. But he doesn't do it in time. You see the next clip, or the next picture, the ball's still coming out here to Marlon Pack, the holding midfielder for Portsmouth. You've got a player calling for it here, but Firpo's already making his way over there. You've got Gruev coming here to mark this option. This option is still free. Look, at this point in time, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to find him because Rodon's there and stuff, but Bogle's job is to swap there with Pascal Struijk. Pascal Struijk is splitting them like in two. He needs to be over there on this player, and Bogle needs to be over there on this player. And you look at the next picture, they're actually occupying the same space. That's no use to anyone. They're both doing the exact same job. And again, as the ball comes further and further here, he's getting more and more time and space, and so is he. Look at the space he's in. Also, Bogle's not out fast enough. Even if he was out faster to that line, he could have been played offside. But what he should have done is come out here, because when you see the ball comes back, look where Bogle is. He's the deepest defender for Leeds, and he's nowhere near the ball. He's, 7 or 8 yards away? So by the time the ball comes to the defender, Bogle is going, oh, that's my man. Oh, no. Let's sprint across and try and get there. But even by the time he takes the shot, he's not close enough to the ball to stop anything. Then you see this, okay? From this angle, he's pretty much straight at MESLIER. So, look, this is bad from MESLIER. It's not good. That one you can see, it hits him and it goes in the back of the net. It's poor goalkeeping, it's poor defending, but again, it's a combination of issues. It's a combination of things that have gone wrong with that. However, look, I know MESLIER's made mistakes before, but you find me a championship goalkeeper that hasn't made mistakes, that doesn't make mistakes fairly regularly. That's why they're in the championship. If they never made any mistakes, they would be at a top-level Premier League club. When you support a team, you only really watch your goalkeeper week in, week out. You don't watch other people's goalkeepers week in, week out. You see them come to Elland Road, you see them play a game of football once or twice throughout the course of a season, and that's all you see of them. You don't see every other goalkeeper over 46 games. Last season, Leicester, who won the championship, their goalkeeper made a lot of mistakes, and they were complaining about him and saying he was terrible. He made mistakes as well. Ipswich's goalkeeper made mistakes. Everybody's goalkeeper in the championship makes mistakes, but MESLIER's got good distribution. He's good one-on-one. He makes himself big, and he's good at claiming the ball now that he's had a little bit more training and confidence in doing so. He seems to want to come and claim the ball and catch it and punch it a bit more. Just got to give him time. Look, you go, okay, well, we've given him time. He's been here for a few years. Yeah, but how old is he? Like 22, 23? Most goalkeepers don't come into their prime until they're perhaps 30. So he's had so much experience for such a young age. He can only improve. get off his back, basically. Farke isn't going to suddenly take him out the team. So let's just not try and kill his confidence. Anyway, rant over. Next one. So this is the second goal for Portsmouth to put them 2-1 up. And if you want more reaction of what I felt about the actual game, go and watch my match reaction from yesterday. But we're just, like I said, we're just analysing the goals. But this comes after Leeds have dropped off a lot. So in the first instance, you don't get to see it in this picture because they didn't show it in the highlights. But around kind of this area where the free kick's been taken, there was a ball played over the top and Rodon found himself on the wrong side of the defender. The attacker, I always do that. Rodon, the defender, found himself on the wrong side of the attacker. And he grabbed his shirt and pulled him. It was poor positional play. He misjudged the flight of the ball really badly, Joe Rodon. And then he grabbed the player's shirt and he gave away a free kick. That's the first error, okay? That is the first error in this 3-error situation which led to this goal. And look, there is a temptation to say, and I understand it, when an unbelievable strike flies in the back of the net, when a really, really good goal goes in, everyone goes, hold your hands up, nothing you could have done about that. But there is, in the build-up, there's nothing you could have done particularly about the shot. The goalkeeper's never going to save it. But the build-up, there is always things to pick out, and there's 3 things in this. So the first thing is that Joe Rodon gave away the free kick to start with. Shouldn't have done it. Second thing, the ball comes to him here. So it comes back to Rodon. The ball is sent into the box, supposedly probably aiming towards this player here. And Rodon has all of this space to win this header. He thinks that the best thing to do here is head it to Jorginho. But Jorginho's got a man who's going to press him, and that's what happens. For me, I talked about this. I said, why couldn't he put it down the channels into this kind of space here down the line? Now, people said, oh, where else is he meant to put it? But if he heads it into this space here, Jorginho's then in a foot race with this player here. Regardless of whether Portsmouth win the ball back here, they're in a worse position than they were when they were directly in the centre of the goal. So we'll go one forward here. He heads it straight to what he thinks is Jorginho here. But as soon as it bounces near Jorginho, this player is on it like a shot and takes it away from him. So for me, if he'd have played it into this space, Jorginho can chase it and try and win it back and at least be in a physical battle. And if the ball then gets played back inside to another midfielder here, Leeds have got more time to readjust. They've got more time to get out towards the ball. I think he should be heading that down into this space here, realistically. Or at least maybe just over here so that Jorginho can come and get it and run this way. But what he does is he heads it directly into the centre of the pitch, which obviously their midfield are going to then think that they can try and press that, which they do, takes it off him. Now this actually, when he takes this touch, it comes off his thigh and goes sideways. I think it's actually a poor touch. I don't think he's meant to do it, but it throws off Mateo Joseph, who's trying to press him and close him down. So when it goes past his heel like that, he's now in space. Nobody else is quick enough to close him down. Pascal Struijk's not out fast enough. Nobody's out fast enough. So therefore, that's the kind of, it's not really necessarily as much of a mistake, but nobody positionally was expecting that to happen, and then nobody was able to come out and close him down, and he strikes it, bangs it right in the top corner. It's such a good finish. Oh, well, actually not in the top corner, it's just near the post, but really, really good finish there. And MESLIER, obviously, look, he has no chance on this one. This is what I mean as well. MESLIER, yeah, partially at fault for the first goal, should have saved it. But when you actually look at the second goal and the third goal, there's absolutely nothing he could have done about it. So if that mistake stands, the first one, and he's conceded 1 goal through a bad mistake, what about the other 2? There's nothing he could have done about it. So, do you know what I mean? Okay, one's his fault, but if our defending's better on the other 2 situations, then it's only 1 goal and we've won 3-1. If you get what I mean, like you can't blame him for everything. He's not the scapegoat. Anyway, just after half-time, we come back out again, and Wilfred Gnonto finds himself in this position. Good bit of play to get him there, literally just after half-time, 46th minute. Now he comes inside. He's got Firpo outside him again, really good, opening up that channel if he needs to play that pass. Mateo Joseph is saying which way to go, because I think Mateo Joseph is going to try and make a run into the near post, but Nonto cuts inside, and at this point you think, okay, this is Somerville territory. He's going to try and bend that ball in the top corner there. But he cuts inside, and as he cuts inside, the goalkeeper, you can see his leg positions here. He's already kind of leant that way to try to anticipate and then dive. And what that does is it puts his body off balance. His position, he's weighted to basically spring that way. But Nonto, and players genuinely do this on purpose now. It's a thing that people do. They wait for a defender to commit to a shot like this guy. He knows, Nonto, that this defender, I think it might be Shaughnessy that used to play for Leeds, he knows, or he thinks he knows, sorry, that Nonto's going in that top corner there. So that's the shot he's trying to block. That is what he's trying to do. He's saying he's going there, that's what I'm going to block. Nonto goes, okay, if he's going to block it like that, that means he's going to lean and stretch like he is. And Nonto goes, okay, I'll just put it back through your legs and into the bottom corner. Really, really good, clever wing play from Nonto, cutting inside, opening up the space for himself, and then putting it through the defender's legs and into the keeper's net. Really, really good play from Nonto and a really good goal. Next, we have Leeds equalizer. Now, we didn't go through the penalty, but I will talk about it for a second. Anywhere else on the pitch, the Bogle and Sadie, I think he's called, this number 15 here on the screen just behind Peru here. Bogle and Sadie, 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Sadie has a hold of Bogle's shirt. Bogle has his arm around him. Anywhere else on the pitch, I think the referee just goes, you know what, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Won't give a free kick for it, play on. But because it was in the box, given as a penalty, they scored. Don't need to analyse the penalty. Nothing MESLIER could have done about it. Got sent the wrong way. Now, we're in the 90th minute, or past the 90th minute now, because that's when the penalty happened. This is the move where Brendan Aronson scored. Now, I want you to look at Patrick Bamford here, because, again, people hate on Patrick Bamford. He was on the pitch for, 5 minutes? But he didn't create this goal, but he created the space for Aronson. You can see that Bamford would have started his run here, okay? But what Bamford does, you can see he's curved his run, and he's making a run here. Because he's made a run here, you can see where Bamford's running there. You can see where he ends up. Peru's still got the ball over here. Look, Bamford's made that run there, and they've basically gone like that and crossed. So Bamford's made the run, which has opened up the space for Brendan Aronson. Now, Brendan Aronson still has a lot to do. It's a good pass by Peru to be able to squeeze it through these two players. It's a good pass, but Brendan Aronson still has a lot to be able to do here. At this point, you think, oh, maybe there's a chance for a shot. Look how many players are around him. He's got 3 in front of him and 3 behind him. He's got 6 players surrounding him. And even then, they all converge on him. He's got 2 or 3 players attacking him, and he still manages to squeeze it through and put it in the bottom corner. It's a really, really good finish, but good little bit of striking play by Patrick Bamford, creating that space by making that run. Peru, good pass. Brendan Aronson does the rest really, really well. Now, this is where one of our issues comes in. We've got to finish chances like this, gilt-edged opportunities. But let's have a talk about the positive things with this. Look at Jayden Bogle. Whilst, yeah, you pressing in the 90th minute, you want to score, 95th minute or whatever it was, you want to score. That's why Bogle's so high up. But this is behind Peru here. He's actually hiding. See a little red sock. Is a Portsmouth player who was trying to carry the ball out, but Bogle was on him like a flash and won it back. And because he pressed high, because he won the ball back, look at the position he's in, Bogle. He's in a number 10 role. And that pass to Brendan Aronson is just on, isn't it? So he puts it into the path of Brendan Aronson. Perfect pass. Basically gives the defenders the eyes, shapes up like he's going to go out wide, then plays it back into Brendan Aronson. Brendan Aronson through on goal. He has to score in this situation. He really does have to score. Even if he rolls it across to Bamford, you know. Bamford's on there to trick the goalkeeper, but alas, it goes wide. It's really unfortunate for Leeds. It is really unfortunate. And for Brendan Aronson as well, who obviously scored the equaliser, made himself the hero, and then he didn't make himself the villain necessarily, but it was one of those things where you think if you'd have just scored that, I think you've instantly won back the affections of the Leeds fans. So that's going to be it for this one. It's just I wanted to go through all the goals and analyse things and basically say, look, whilst we drew the game, these are the things that we can take from it. These are the things that will be worked on the training ground, so you get a bit of an insight into kind of, obviously they'll have video footage. I can't do that because YouTube will go, or well, Sky Sports will go, no, we're taking that, that's ours. Even though I'm just trying to analyse it. Anyway, they will have a look at these video clips. They'll say what went wrong, what was good, what they did well, what they didn't do well, how they can improve that. They'll take it into training, and hopefully we'll see an improvement on that in the next game. But that is going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching Leeds Lately. Let me know what you think down in the comments below of the things I've talked about in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.